So yeah, as I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be discussing my thoughts on the PewDiePie versus T Series thing that I've been seeing on YouTube a lot over the past few months. And I know all of y'all are gonna say, "Oh, it's gonna stop after at some point." Here's what I think. Okay, it ain't gonna stop until pretty much every single person on YouTube subscribes to either one of those channels. All right, that's just something I've noticed. It ain't gonna stop until there's pretty much a net. Okay, it's not gonna stop. Period. It's just going to be a never-ending, instance of one tying and or both pretty much coming to a tie. It's like the Cold War. Both have enough weapons to where they can't fire on each other without destroying each other. It's that simple. In terms of PewDiePie versus T-Series, it's kind of a similar situation. Both are going to have, either way, are going to have the same number of subscribers in the end because everyone on YouTube is pretty much going to subscribe to either one concerning, the whole thing. That's what I think anyway, and that is, really, I mean, I know I've just said it twice, I don't know how many times and how many different times, but yeah, this whole thing with PewDiePie and then T-Series, it's not going to stop until every person on YouTube subscribes to either PewDiePie or T-Series. That's what I think. I think it's going to keep going until every last YouTuber on YouTube subscribes to PewDiePie and T-Series both. And only then will it end. I mean, it really, either way, it doesn't matter. YouTube is still going to go corporate whether we fight against it or not. We're going to be the ones who pay. We're going to YouTubers like myself and Jesse, YouTubers like myself who don't monetize will probably either be forced to monetize so YouTube can just get more money, or they'll probably just kick us off and say, screw you, if you don't pay up, you're not going to get to make videos. That's basically what it is. YouTube's just becoming like everything else, a corporate entity that just cares more about money than its own creators or its creators' needs. That's what I think about it. And it disappoints me. I love how YouTube's motto is broadcast yourself. Yeah, broadcast yourself after you pay up like $2.4 billion is what they're trying to say. They just won't say it openly. They're doing it, it's now like, instead of it being for the creators, it's now for the money. That's what it is. I mean, for God's sake, Spamos posted a video where there's an ad that's like 25 minutes long, and pretty soon they're probably going to not even have a way for you to skip ads anymore or X out of them. We're probably going to just have to suffer through it until it's over. And by that point, they'll probably just make it nothing but ads. No video, just nothing but ads. I don't even care about PewDiePie or T-Series. I haven't subscribed to either. I say boycott them both. Unsubscribe and spread the word. I honestly don't care about this. If PewDiePie wants to just go against T-Series, then let it just be him and him alone. It doesn't concern any of us. We can protest YouTube going corporate by just doing what we do best. Making videos. Making videos that we think are good. Making videos that us as creators think are good. Not what YouTube thinks is good. What us as creators, as filmmakers think is good. And that's what I'm going to continue doing right to the end. I've been doing it for 5 years now. And I'm not going to stop. I might become less frequent, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop, because I'm not. And I know my friend Jesse isn't going to stop either. Heck, ever since his channel ever since he monetized his channel, he's now having to pay so many dang taxes that he doesn't even have enough money coming back from it to where he can do anything with it, really. I don't know how much money he makes. I don't bother asking because it's not my business, but from what he tells me, he's pretty much being taxed to death by it. And I'm worried that he's going to have to spend so much of the money he's earning on taxes that he won't have any money, or he won't have enough money saved up to where, he'll be able... What I'm trying to say is I'm worried that, I don't know whether it's the state of Connecticut or what, but they're taxing him to the point where he hardly has enough money In other words, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a hard time trying to get this out. What I'm worried is that I don't know if it's either YouTube or Connecticut or both, but they're taxing him so much that I'm worried that, he's not going to be able to save up enough money for stuff he wants to do in the end because he has to give it all to people who are collecting taxes. I mean, I can understand why both either his state and YouTube or both want the tax money, but for God's sakes, make it so that the creator has enough money to at least get by, or has enough money saved up to where he can spend it on what he wants or what he needs. Stuff that we need comes before stuff we want, and if you keep taxing us for it, we won't have enough money to buy what we need. It's that simple. And I'm worried that really there's not going to be much of a middle class left either. Honestly. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is a rant. Could be considered a rant, and technically it is. But, I mean, I'm getting annoyed by this whole PewDiePie versus T-Series garbage. I don't care about it. I could care less. Ugh. I never watched PewDiePie, and I never intend to subscribe to him. Nor the T-Series. Besides, it's music I don't even like. Ugh. I hate it. But, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, aside from that, I got worried about the incident in Notre Dame. They got the fire out, and apparently people are starting to backlash those who are trying to donate to help rebuild the dang cathedral. Make up your dang minds, you idiots. Make up your dang minds. Either you want the thing rebuilt or not. Which is it? You know it's going to take a lot of money to rebuild the thing. And if you're wanting to get it done in 5 years, you got to seek out those guys who know that lost art form immediately. You can't just put it off. You got to seek them out as soon as you can. Things like Notre Dame Cathedral aren't built anymore, and therefore the arts that were used to build it don't exist anymore. There's only a few people who still know those arts, and they're still masters at it. And they're hard to come by. And concerning the Discord, Anti-Furry, I don't have a Discord server because I don't know how to make one. And I honestly don't know if I would want to make one. I have a few YouTube Messenger groups on here, but there's enough chaos going on in them. In other words, one. It's called Railfan Chat No Madness. I could send a link, but it refers to solely trains. I mean, I'm sorry, Anti-Furry. I'm not... I don't want to have to deal with the stress of running a Discord server. Too much insanity. And believe me, I know. I'm on plenty of Discord groups where there's just spam message after spam message. Well, I'm glad a few of you rail fans are, but... Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but when I lay down, there's like area of my chest right here where my finger's pointing at. It hurts. I don't know why. And as you guys can see by the weather, pretty much fits my mood. Nothing but cold, gray, and wet, and miserable. The only reason I noticed it was, Tom is because I remember growing up watching Tom and Jerry. And I mean the old cartoons of it that were made back in like the 30s and 40s, dude. Honestly. To think, I had no idea, because some of those back in the, concerning the time period, some of those were like racist. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the show at all by any means, because I know now it's not, but back then, some of those older episodes were considered, racist. But that was just due to the philosophy at the time, which is unfortunate, and I know those episodes, which when they were rerun after like the 60s, animators and studios tried to change them, and I know they were restored. And there's a few disclaimers on whatever DVDs you can get of them. But yeah, honestly, I'm more upset. I'm disappointed at what this world has come to. I mean, for God's sakes, certain species of animals that I want to try and see are going extinct. I mean, the world's almost close to God knows what kind of catastrophe. I mean, God forbid. I mean, Lord of mercy. I'd hoped to see orca whales in Alaska, and now I'm seeing multiple news articles saying and predicting that they're all going to be dead before I'm even 30. I hate it. Honestly, we're like the worst thing that happened to this planet. I mean, we are the thing that's going to destroy it, or at least all the environments on it. As I've said, greed is what will be the ultimate destruction of our race as a species. I was in environmental science recently, and we were talking about renewable energy, and one of the main obstacles against it is the freaking government being controlled pretty much by the dang oil companies. The oil companies have so much money that they can pretty much bribe politicians or whatever you want to call it into going with them. And that includes scientists and the EPA. Apparently there's documents that say the EPA was essentially being funded in some cases by the very companies that it was supposed to protect the environment from. I'm not trying to get political, but, I mean, if we're wanting to change the world, we've got to protest, these corporate entities helping the government get what those corporate entities want, and that's money. It's like how Standard Oil brought in politicians that went with their ideals back in like the 1900s. And now it's pretty much the same thing. Essentially, Standard Oil is in existence again. It's just under a new name and a whole new style of operating. What I'm worried about is by the time I'm 30 or 40 or even 50, this world's going to be going to hell. Like, environments are destroyed, animals extinct. I mean, let's just say when the oceans die and all that, that's going to be when we start to die out, because it's a cycle, Anything that thrives in the ocean ends up thriving on land. I know it's already starting to get like that. It's like any time someone tries to, bring a change to light or try to find a way to change everything to make it better, they're either silenced or killed by, the government, or, just told to shut up and not say a word and you'll be all right. I say speak up against that. Make the change even if the government says something. Make that change. Speak out. Rebel. I mean, it is in the Constitution where it says clearly, if we as a people feel our government is doing wrong against us or anything else, we as a people have a right to rise up and rebel and absolutely abolish that form of government and put a new one and a right one in its place. Why we haven't done that now is beyond me. I've always said I felt like I was born in the wrong generation, and by God, when I say it, I mean it. What I'm worried about is I'm not going to live to be 30. Because if the world keeps going in the direction it's going, it's only a matter of time before we either enter World War III or mass genocide or a downright apocalypse. I mean, no one knows what the future will hold later. We can't predict our own destiny. No one can. Well, when the world starts to die because we destroyed all the habitats and environments and animals that helped sustain it, I'm going to laugh in my dying breath and say, you idiots, I told you so. I told you so. When that happens, I hope to see and record at least some animals before they're gone. Heck, I may not have an interest in birds, but when I was in Edisto recently, I recorded the egrets at Egrets Point because, it's only a matter of time before they're probably wiped out. But Alaska was where I'd hoped to see whales, and I never got to see them. Never. Not even one. I hate it. The only time I've ever seen whales is either on videos people have already recorded or in books that I've got, and there's not many that I've got concerning that. Well, that's the question. If it's about my hair, yes, I know it's terrible. Don't judge me. Yes, I do play Roblox, but only when Jesse and I are recording videos. And I don't want any of you getting ideas to come on when we're recording and start, essentially harassing us. I know y'all don't mean to, but, Jesse and I know what it's like. I remember early on when he did recordings, he got swarmed by people who knew him. And it drove, and I'm sure, even though he didn't want to openly admit it, I'm sure it drove him nuts. Thank you. I'm glad you made the friend optional. Now, if y'all want to do a video with me, that's fine. If y'all want to record with me when I'm on, you're more than welcome to. I don't mind. I probably won't talk. Most of the Roblox videos I do have that I filmed myself have no narration. And most of the old ones I had before getting rid of them had no narration. Keelan the Fox, welcome. I think this is the first stream you were in, correct? But yeah, I'm gonna end this one because I don't want to, because I've talked about the topics I wanted to talk about, and I'll make another stream that concerns all this gaming and whatnot afterwards. All right. Give me like 10 to 20 minutes, or if it takes forever, 2,000 years, and that could